Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Dr. Nurida. So my name is Muhammad Abdul Hafiz bin Firman. My matrix number is 275607. So today, me and my friend will presenting about Retakaful practices in Malaysia, which is related issue and challenges in Retakaful. One of the most relevant risk management tools is Retakaful. Retakaful is a tool that Takaful operators should use to share a portion of risk related to the Takaful fund than sharing with the others. This paper will discuss about the issue and challenges of Retakaful practices in Malaysia and a few recommendations to the organization concerned with a few related issue and a challenge. In addition, the issue currently affecting the world financial and insurance is COVID-19. In this research, we'll also explaining about this issue. Let's go through the definition. Retakaful is defined as a mutual consent process, mutually agreed risk and requirement between Takaful and Retakaful operator according to Sharia compliance. According to the Takaful Basic Guide, Retakaful is the one of the risk management instrument used by the Retakaful operator to share a portion of the risk in a fund with the Takaful operator or another Retakaful business. From the diagram above show on how the risk share in Retakaful mechanism. So from that, we can explain about the Retakaful concept. Takaful operator known as a seeding company. The Takaful operator that accept part or all of the Takaful risk from the seeding company is called the Retakaful. Retakaful operator should share the risk and it is better than bearing alone. The amount of Retakaful retained by the seeding company for its own account is called as the retention limit, while the amount of Retakaful ceded to the Retakaful company is known as a cession. Finally, retrocession and retrotakaful is the reinsurer or Takaful operator in turn may reinsure part or all of the risk with another Takaful operator. Next is objective of Retakaful. Based on the Maksum 2007, objective of Retakaful is to protect the operator from going bankrupt and get them involved in Sharia-compliant investment. Next, to provide the operator with adaptable underwriting experience and to discourage Retakaful fund from earning interest on their fund. Let's go through the function of Retakaful. Based on Azdan Hassan 2011, function of Retakaful can be divided into three, which is risk sharing. Risk sharing is referred to Retakaful prefer to use a risk sharing method to split the risk amongst others rather than using reinsurance that using risk transfer. Next is income smoothing. Income smoothing is a method that utilizes accounting method to balance out variation in the net income from one time to the next. Third is underwriting assistance. Underwriting is a process of determining whether an insurance company should undertake the risk or not. Next, the difference between Retakaful and reinsurance. There are a few fundamental differences between Retakaful and reinsurance because the presence of riba, warar and maisir in component, the juris prohibited the reinsurance. However, since it's utilized permissible contract, the Retakaful operation has eliminated this element. So, according to this table, we can know that the Retakaful process apply the Islamic law concept in the term of legal tool, while the reinsurance using the civil law. Furthermore, all transactions concerning the Retakaful process must always be subject to the Sharia oversight and assessment. Meanwhile, the reinsurance mechanism refers to human-made civil law. In other terms, Islamic Sharia does not recognize reinsurance. Next, the contract of the Retakaful and Takaful operator must be on concept of a cooperation, but reinsurance uses the concept of commercial. Next, Retakaful is using contribution or tabaruk in the contract basis. By contribution of the participant can support one another by applying the fundamental concept of Sharia, while reinsurance generally use the term of premium. If premium has a plus, which is no claim, the profit belong to the company and not the policyholder. Next, mechanism of risk that used in the Retakaful is risk sharing, which is sharing the risk among the Retakaful operator and operate by the Retakaful operator or Retakaful company, but the insurance using a risk transfer. Risk is passed from the reinsurance company and risk is assumed either in full or in part by the insurance company. Last, the ownership of the Retakaful fund is participant, but Retakaful operator acts as agent on the behalf of participant to manage the fund. But the fund belong to the insurance company.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good afternoon. First, let me introduce myself, which is my name is Fikram Sharuzan bin Shaharuddin. My metric number is 275513 and I'm from Bachelor in Risk Management and Insurance. Today, I would like to present about the issues in Retakaful practices in Malaysia. The issues that I want to present is global standard or standardized Retakaful. Global standard or standardized Retakaful has been a major problem in Retakaful industries. This is because the Retakaful industry is not well known. In Malaysia. Not all of Malaysian citizens know about the Retakaful industries in Malaysia because of Malaysian citizens more exposed to traditional insurance. The mechanism of Retakaful similar to traditional reinsurance, but Retakaful follow the Islamic Sharia. There are many ways to grow the Retakaful industries in Malaysia, such as the Retakaful industries must establish a globally agreed standard mechanism for Retakaful to meet the need for reinsurance coverage that complies with Sharia. To encourage Islamic insurance in all markets, Takaful and Retakaful operator must do this recommendation. First, Takaful business must maintain a high degree of solvency in order to cope with market changes and challenges. Second, to grow Takaful business and attract a new customer, the Takaful sector must raise awareness of Islamic insurance product among both customer and insurance professionals. And the last one is all Sharia fatwas related to the Takaful insurance must be unified by Takaful payers. So that is the first issues in the Retakaful industries. For the next issues, I will let my partner to present. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum dan selamat sejahtera. My name is Liana Binti Zakaria and my metric number is 75541. Today I will explain my part, which is Sharia issue on Retakaful operation. As we know that Retakaful is a Sharia compliant form of reinsurance in conventional insurance. Reinsurance refers to the process when reinsurance may cover itself from a possibility of failure by a contractual agreement between the Takaful operator and other insurance. Takaful operator take part in a Takaful venture with a major Takaful corporation. Other than that, premiums are also billed to the Retakaful company on a regular basis from the operation Takaful fund. The Retakaful company issue all the Takaful operators in underwriting grade. Financial which each Takaful sector still continue facing issue in meeting the standard of conventional regulatory system while remaining faithful to a Sharia advisory. Therefore, there are some Retakaful still remain in operation in Malaysia, even though company capability is sufficient to satisfy the demand of the customer. In contrast to a customer choice by pursuing protection based on the Islamic principle, they are only left for Takaful operation. It restore it conventionally. Takaful reinsurance, also known as a Retakaful, is justified strictly about joint responsibility, which means they are most probably arranged by quota share and surplus treaty. Okay, the Sharia Advisory Council of Syarikat Takaful Malaysia come out with some solution by apply principle of faith, which we can see the chart below is from the first is from the principle, next is a Takaful operator, then goes to local Retakaful operator, then international Retakaful operator, and lastly going to the conventional reinsurer. However, it's greater high demand of Retakaful capability which can support by Sharia compliant capitals. But concerning Retakaful Sharia issue about the financial capabilities handle to risk of Takaful operator. The Takaful operator must work with conventional reinsurer to get protection conventional re-operator. The commission that obtained from Retakaful is perceived to conflict the Sharia compliance. It needs to be improve the role and status of Retakaful user within the Takaful industry.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Amir Hisham bin Alham. My metric number is 275385. I will explain about the competition in Retakaful. There are three Retakaful companies that were granted the license to operate general and family Retakaful business by Bank Negara Malaysia. That is Malaysia Reinsurance Berhad, Munir Retakaful and Swiss Retakaful. Malaysia Reinsurance Berhad started this division on 30 April 2016. It was formed to complement and expand Malaysia traditional insurance operation by expanding the Syariah complement supply chain to both local and foreign Retakaful operators. Malaysia Insurance Retakaful Division utilizes a leverage model allowing it to benefit from Malaysia underwriting best practices. The next one that is Swiss Retakaful, it has been recognized as a growing significant of Islamic insurance. Swiss Retakaful decided to open the new branch there in the new Retakaful city in Kuala Lumpur on 2019. This shows the sign of its strong commitment to Islamic insurance in Malaysia. Swiss Retakaful dedicated to deploying its skill and capacity to meet the needs of current and new clients for Sharia complement Retakaful. The last one is Munir Retakaful. It is a full-fledged Retakaful operator authorized by Bank Negara Malaysia to serve global Retakaful hub from Kuala Lumpur since 2007. It supports the general and family Retakaful business all over the world. Munir Retakaful operate on a pure worker model with a strict 100% Sharia complement supply chain. This is why Munir Retakaful seeks Sharia enforcement advice as a corrective for development rather than a restriction.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Izul Azizi bin Salihuddin and my metric number is 275543. So I will continue the presentation. I will explain about the challenge in Retakaful practice in Malaysia. So Takaful business in Malaysia is dependent on the Retakaful company. This is because they want to see how they can keep the Takaful business afloat in the long run by spreading the danger to the Retakaful firm. There are a few challenges faced in Retakaful practice in Malaysia. So for the first challenge faced in Retakaful practice in Malaysia is limited Retakaful capacity. The Retakaful industry is still quite small. As a result, the industry faces various obstacles as it attempts to broaden its global footprint. One of the difficult are limited Retakaful capacity. The capacity available is insufficient to satisfy the demand of Takaful operators due to the small number of RTO available. Until now, Takaful companies were constrained by a lack of insufficient Retakaful ability to meet any of their immediate Takaful requirements. Even though some multinational reinsurance firms have shown an increased interest in Takaful, most jurisdictions have a small number of Retakaful business, such as Swiss Retakaful, AIG Retakaful, and Munich Retakaful are among the insurance giants that have formed Retakaful subsidiaries. Insufficient to cover all Takaful needs, then as a result, limited capacity happened and was a challenge in the Retakaful sector. For these issues, it has been called peak risk capacity. In addition, natural disaster capacity is also involved in this issue. When there is a financial shock from the occurrence of a natural disaster, it is quite difficult to make a comprehensive capability when such things happen. Among the natural disasters that occur are such as tsunamis, floods, earthquakes, fires, and windstorms, and other natural disasters. So, with the proliferation of new Retakaful firms entering the industry in response to market demands, the problem of Retakaful capability has started to ease lately. So that's all from me for this chapter.
Next one is asset management capabilities. Asset management refers to the process of planning and managing the acquisition, service, repair, renewal, and disposal of conditional asset. This method improves the asset delivery potential while minimizing the cost. Lack of asset management in Retakaful may affect the asset failure. It can be on the unexpected breakdown, costly repair, and machine part repairment may result from assets that are routinely not checked. For example, when Munich Retakaful has no clue on how many sets they have in their company or what the status is, nobody can able to do asset. They will need to repair, resulting in extra cost. For the last one, is the core aspect of best practice asset management require the implementation of a strategy that not only oversee the management but upkeep the organizational asset. After all, it also handles the risk associated with their possession and use. It is the most basic form. Risk is determined by the outcome and probability of such risk occurring. My part is lack of expertise in Retakaful. The lack of expertise bring about the inefficiency and loss of operation. Retakaful was established in Malaysia in early 2007 by Munich Retakaful. Due to its new workplace in Malaysia, it may lead to lack of expertise in some fields. The ability of worker to receive training may also affect it. The technical skill they need to acquire can become liability due to the lack of the mastery of business skill needed to be successful and profitable for the company. This happens because of the lack of expertise of retail company in its newer because it is new in Malaysia. The consequence of lack of expertise may be seen unfairly by the employer in criticism made by staff, which may impact teamwork and human interaction. And the employer failure to correctly manage this issue may contribute to employee frustration and self-expectation. One other field is in IT expert. An IT expert can address the range of areas including coding, cybersecurity, network design, hardware implementation, troubleshooting, and more.
Next, we go for the next chapter, which is the impact of COVID-19 affect the Retakaful industry. The COVID-19 pandemic continues to spread, causing disease in people, business, individuals, and industry all across the world. The epidemic has a clear and significant impact on global economic growth. The purpose of this study is to assess the impact of COVID-19 on Malaysia Retakaful business, as well as the impact of COVID-19 in Malaysia. By this moment, the epidemic is having a negative effect on Malaysia macroeconomic and economic well-being. There are many impacts on Retakaful when COVID-19 happens. When a COVID-19 happens, everyone is searching for insurance to prepare the outcome from COVID-19. First, it will slow down the growth of Retakaful in Malaysia. In Malaysia, conventional insurance has dominated the market because many people are more interested in conventional insurance. Conventional insurance has many more benefits than Retakaful, and it is easy to understand the mechanism of how conventional insurance works. Secondly, the percentage of Malaysia citizens using Retakaful and Takaful is decreasing. This is because when the government takes action to start a total lockdown, many Malaysia citizens have lost their jobs because of the total lockdown. Companies in Malaysia started to fire their workers to reduce expenses. So when that happens, maybe many Malaysia citizens start to drop their Retakaful or Takaful because of a shortage of their money every month. Besides that, the impact of COVID-19 affected the Retakaful industry is unemployment. Unemployment is one of the major impact that hits the Retakaful industry. The global decrease in working hour in 2020 leads to a reduction in working hours for employed people. It translates into jobless for many people, especially in Retakaful industry. So the conclusion is the losses caused by the COVID-19 and the economic downturn triggered by the pandemic will have a significant short-term impact on Retakaful. This also suggests that everyone as financial, owner, creditor, employees, and customer has a unique role to play in protecting Malaysia and the global economy.
For conclusion, in a nutshell, the following recommendation are to the organisation concerned with related issues and challenges. First, all outstanding issues, particularly Sharia issues, must be analysed and interpreted for the Takaful industries to obtain enough customers. Next, Takaful companies should be differentiated for their conventional counterparts by emphasizing the spirit of collaboration and contribution rather than raising profit. Next, it would be a disaster if consumers learn that the Sharia is just a name and that what is going on inside Takaful company and how it implements its functions differs from what it states. Finally, the Takaful system is also changing, with some Sharia scholars raising concern about it. All outstanding issues, especially Sharia issues, must be studied and interpreted for Islamic insurance to gain widespread acceptance. This problem can be solved by following the following recommendations. To avoid takaful operators relying on conventional retakaful, the government or responsible authorities should increase the amount of retakaful operators in our country. It is hoped that the retakaful and takaful industry will grow faster in future as more and larger foreign insurance firms join the industry through its retakaful windows. That's all from me. Thank you.
On to the recommendation. Okay, as you know, the first recommendation are the number of Retakaful operator in Malaysia need to be increased, and according to the statutory authority. We know that the Retakaful operator can grab the opportunity to make their Retakaful business by following based on the Sharia compliant due to the number of Retakaful company in Malaysia are very limited. So Retakaful operator have been derived by the Bank Negara Malaysia guideline to use reinsurance method based on the conventional insurance basis. Furthermore, when there are no Retakaful option was available, Sharia scholar issued a fatwa that encouraged Takaful operator to reinsure on a conventional insurance basis, but it's only when the Sharia compliant capacity are available to permissible to use a conventional reinsurance method. Moreover, the existing capacity in the market also insufficient to satisfy the demand of the customer. So, to avoid this problem continuously, the Malaysian government or responsible body must take the step to increase the number of Retakaful operator in Malaysia. Okay, next recommendation is the Takaful operator granted a commission to the Takaful operator, which this made out the agreement in the Takaful industry that the Takaful operator payment of commission in a Takaful operator or the administration of reinsurance premium is in the accordance with the Islamic law of principle. Aside from this circumstance, it's tried to suggest that either the Retakaful or the Takaful company are negotiated on their profitable income for their company. This commission is obviously because the Retakaful transaction is a wakalah-based concept that follow the mudarabah contract in some way. This ensures that regardless of the reinsurance business experience, the Retakaful company pay nothing to the Takaful ceding company. As a result, it's principle like Islamic insurance and reinsurance to decide the payment of commission on a reinsurance scheme based on the total premium or total receipt premium. However, accepting and ceding the insurance company on either a total premium basis without contributing or collecting any reinsurance commission among Takaful and Retakaful operator is considered preferable and commendable for the sake of bringing out of strong differentiation between the Islamic Takaful operator and conventional insurance Takaful operator. Next, allow the Retakaful model by using Wadiah concept, which another possible solution to improve the Retakaful industry is by using the Wadiah Retakaful model, which Wadiah is a relationship between a depositor and custodian, in which the depositor places his or her property or asset to safekeeping with the custodian. In addition, the Retakaful participant can use the Retakaful operator service as a fund manager in exchange for a portion for the wakalah fee according to the model. The accrued fund will be used for the savings and the Retakaful operator will benefit from the operation. Thus, the remaining fund will be returned to the Retakaful member. Lastly, the participation remain in the ownership of their fund under the principle and the method of self-regulation. They